Wealth Tender reports that 96% of investors who are referred to an advisory firm will still research that advisor online before making contact. That includes 37% of users who are starting with AI tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and more to find their next financial advisor. And if your RIA firm isn't showing up in AI searches, you're invisible to more of your prospects. But today I'm going to show you exactly why your RIA isn't showing up in AI searches and what to do about it. In case we haven't met yet, hi, I'm Jon Cook. I'm the founder of Keynote Content, and I've personally worked with close to 300 advisory firms one-on-one over the past 7 years, building the right story, systems, and stages to attract the investors that they actually want. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most common reasons why RIA firms are invisible to AI. And after each of these reasons, I'll also give you this specific fix for that reason. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear action list that you can start implementing this week. And if you want to stay in the loop of this conversation about RIA firms and AI, hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and you'll catch the rest of my videos. But for now, let's get to it. I bet you have a website, a LinkedIn presence, and probably some type of content stream, whether that's a podcast, a YouTube channel, or maybe just a series of blog articles that maybe you've posted from AdvisorStream, FMG, some other type of content library. The problem that I keep seeing, especially in the RIA space, is that your website, your LinkedIn, your Google business profile, and other key details about your firm, they aren't telling the same story. You're watching this because your firm isn't showing up on ChatGPT, Perplexity, and other AI searches when your prospective clients are searching for a firm like yours. And you want to fix that. You have all the necessary details, but they're simply not in the right places and presented in a congruent, clear way where AI models understand exactly what you offer, who you serve, and other what we call trust signals. And I get, before you tell me, John, the biggest firms are just shoveling Benjamins towards marketing and paid ads, and that's why they're dominating AI searches. But that's simply not the case. Ahrefs analyzed over 300,000 keywords and found that 40% of AI-cited sources rank outside the top 10 organic search results. That means that 40% of firms who are mentioned by AI aren't even showing up on the first page of Google for the exact same search. Do you see the opportunity? Do you see the challenge? Do you see this window right here? Because while massive firms, they may be paying a king's ransom for ranking the highest in Google ads, AI is instead ranking firms based on whoever is most specifically and credibly positioned for the exact question that's being asked by your exact audience, whether that's on ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, or whatever platform that they're using. So why isn't your firm showing up in those AI searches? Let's get into 3 specific reasons why your firm is invisible and how to fix each of these reasons. First reason is that your message and market niche positioning are too generic. The number 1 reason why RIA firms are invisible to AI searches is that it's confusing at best about what you do, who it's for, and the expertise that you bring to that exact group of investors. What if your website says, "We help business owners retire"? Well, that is a nothing burger, a massive nothing burger to your audience and to AI search models. But what if you work with franchisees who are in the restaurant business and you help them build their family wealth beyond their franchise? That completely narrows down how you position your firm because it reads like this now. Restaurant franchisees trust us to build wealth beyond their businesses. Now, when you talk about this idea of niching down, the goal of niching down, I don't believe the goal of niching down isn't to have as small a concentrated niche as possible. I recommend right-sizing your niche to fit the exact audience that you would love to serve for the rest of your career. So let's say that you have a niche in place, but if you're seeing more fringe cases that don't actually bring you joy to serve that crowd, then niche down even further. Whatever group that you want to target, I guarantee you that narrowing your focus to serve that exact group will make you stand out as a preeminent advisor in that space and make it easier to communicate with that crowd. We'll cover that more in the 3rd reason, but the first reason why you're invisible in AI searches as an RIA firm is that your messaging and your market niche positioning are still generic. You need to niche down. The second reason why your RIA firm is invisible to AI searches is that AI can't find supporting evidence of your expertise from third-party sources. Now you might say like, oh, BrokerCheck, they can find me on BrokerCheck. Yes, BrokerCheck is required, but that's a regulatory disclosure platform. That's not a actual third-party directory. BrokerCheck, yes, it's required. But third-party directories can give you an amazing opportunity to highlight your firm's earned media. Muckrack reports that 84% of AI-cited sources come from earned media. That's podcast interviews, that's article mentions, that's third-party directories, that's all these other different citations and links specifically mention you and what you bring to the conversation. That's what I call earned media. And earned media gives you the street cred that AI knows that you are trustworthy and you carry the right expertise. Without those mentions though, AI can only go off of what you say on your website and say that's probably as trustworthy as it can be. But that's like showing up to a discovery meeting with a sign that says, just trust my credentials, that's why you should work with me as your advisor. Nobody's gonna just say, oh, my goodness, they have all this alphabet soup after their name. Of course they're one that's gonna be trustworthy. Of course they're gonna be great at what they do. Look at all their credentials. Nobody's gonna actually say that. So how do you generate more earned media as an RIA firm? You get listed on directories like NAPFA, XYPN, Wealth Tender, and more with a clear niche-focused message that positions your firm for the exact audience that you want to serve. And once you do that, then you create one piece of content that's specifically designed to be quotable by a journalist, by a podcast host, any type of media presence, and you work to get that piece of content referenced in any of those interviews, articles, podcast episodes, wherever it might be as much as possible. That's how you start building that credibility inside third-party sources. The third reason why your RIA firm is invisible to AI searches is that you're not answering the right questions before a prospect makes contact. So I'm gonna call this a content intervention. Let's call it a content intervention. It's long overdue. Your family loves you, your admin, your fellow advisors, they care about you, I care about you. So please hear this from me. Life is too short to sound like every other financial advisor. And when you post random boilerplate vanilla flavored content from these different content farms, content libraries, it's not you. It lacks your personality, your perspective, your real value, and it makes you show up as generic and not really a trusted expert when you do that stuff. And there's a reason why dozens of advisors with the same broker-dealer, they all post the same article, the same picture within seconds of each other, because it's easy and it's convenient. But it's also expensive, because when you post generic content, it telegraphs to your prospects, to all that niche, to Google, to AI platforms, it tells all of them that your advice is likely generic as well. Now, you and I both know that your advice isn't generic. So how do we protect your firm from giving that impression to these AI searches and Google and all these other different prospects who are trying to reach out to you? We protect your firm by creating relevant, authority-grounded content that highlights your exact expertise in detailed, contextually specific ways. You remember we talked about the first reason that your RIA firm is invisible in the AI searches. The first reason is that your messaging and your market niche positioning are generic. And when you fix that, when you niche down, you start focusing on a much more strategic, tailored audience, that gives you a much better target for producing content that highlights your expertise. But what does it look like in a practical way? What does it look like in a practical, tactical manner? So let's use articles as an example. Before you niche down your audience, you might have created an article series on the top questions to ask a financial advisor as a business owner. But if you specifically work with restaurant franchisees, your article series may include topics like this, answering these types of questions. What are the top investing problems that restaurant franchisees face? Another question you can answer through a specific detailed piece of content is, how can restaurant owners build wealth outside their restaurant? Another question is, how do I plan for retirement as a restaurant franchise owner? These articles focus on question-based intent. What are the exact questions that restaurant franchise owners are typing into ChatGPT, and Claude, Perplexity, Grok, Gemini, Copilot, and other AI platforms? They are typing in far more specific questions to their exact situation. And generic content, it doesn't answer those specific questions, and generic content doesn't get ranked on AI searches or Google. Specific content built to answer specific questions for a specific audience will get ranked in AI searches. Now, everything that I just walked you through, the messaging, the third-party presence, the content strategy, all of that and more is exactly what our Advisor Story program is solving for RIA firms just like yours. If you want to learn a little bit more about our program, what it could look like to work together, the next step is simple. Head over to keynotecontent.com/start. You can click it right here, or you can see it on your screen, or you can see it in the video description below, keynotecontent.com/start, and complete our intake process. It takes only a couple minutes. Tell us about your firm, about your background, your expertise, and what you're working toward. But if you'd rather just give us a call or send us an email, that information is also on that link as well. When we'll connect for a conversation, see if we're the right fit to work together. But what if you're not quite ready to connect? That's okay. You probably still have a couple other questions about this bigger picture of how investors are finding advisors online and how advisor firms can do these different steps to be found better and why all of this is changing. So I cover all that in more detail in this next video. Hit play. I'll see you there.